So, I want to talk about, can a boy-girl friendship survive again? Because honestly, I love the spice that's coming from this series. I love the discussion that's coming from this series. One thing that I've always complained about is that there hasn't been as much fun conversations, debates that have been going on in the AniTube community, because I do feel like some content creators have got a bit of stick up their bum. They don't really want to have those fun debates like we used to have. Like, if you've been around in the AniTube community, or you've been watching AniTubers and been in the anime community long enough, let's say take you back, even 8 to 10 years, like, things were so chaotic, but they were fun. There was arguments, but fun arguments. It's not like they were throwing personal insult. It was like fun arguments in the sense of like two content creators battling it out over which series is better and why this is bad and why this isn't bad, and having all these discussions. It was actually fun. I want those glory days back. And if I've got to be that douchebag that's got to start sort of stirring the pot to get those discussions going, so be it. I will be the villain you need, not the villain you want. I know. Changing up the Batman quote. But this is one of those series that I absolutely love watching because it's a train wreck. It absolutely is a train wreck. And I've seen some people say, oh no, it's not realistic. You clearly have not had any romantic experience if you don't think this is realistic. Why? Because I've seen this kind of stuff happen in real life where a guy or a girl, they'll play like chicken and they'll just like try and like flirt with each other to the point where they're like trying to provoke the other one to make the move. They're like flirting just enough to give a little bit of a hint, but a bit of a back out. So if the other one says, no, I don't like you, they go, oh, well, I was just joking, broski. It was all just bro. But they try and like provoke the other person to say something because they're too scared to actually make the first actual proper move. This is a very common tactic for people, and it's not exclusive to male or female. Like, both will do this. I'm an expert. I've done this before. I'm openly admitting it. I've done it before. I've been so shameful at this fact that, and again, I love putting my real life on this because this is why it's funny. So, example. Basically, I liked a girl. But because I'd been rejected so much, I got to the point where I got tired of being rejected. And it's like one of those memes, like, oh, what's the worst they can say? No. Yeah, there is much worse that they can say. They can humiliate you, belittle you, tell all their friends, and mock the living hell out of you. So I get to this point where if I like a girl, I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, I'll leave hints. And I thought maybe she was interested, so I'd keep leaving breadcrumbs, trying to provoke it, and then I just back out because I get too scared of actually going forward with it and asking her out because, well, if I do and she rejects me, it could get, it's embarrassing. Again, I'm not saying I'm smart. I was stupid back then. But at the same time, it's like in that mindset, I was scared of rejection because I was not just, it wasn't so much that I was scared of the rejection, I was scared of what comes after the rejection. If there's a chance that that girl could turn around and humiliate you, make it public, which has happened to me before, where you ask out a girl and they don't just say no, they tell everyone else that that loser asked me out. And so it does build that kind of like, it's like sticking your hand in the fire. You stick it in the first time, you're like, ow, that hurts. I'm not going to do that again. And that's what it turned into. So when people say this isn't realistic, you clearly have not got any experience in romance. And it's probably these kinds of kids that are like, oh yeah, I'm a chud. I'm like Andrew Tate. No, you're not. You are probably a basement dweller that hasn't left your bedroom in probably 6 months, and mummy and daddy are telling you to clean your bedroom and take a shower for the first time in a couple of years. You're like Asmongold, but at least Asmongold is somewhat more functional than you. And now he has to get personal cleaners because his house is falling apart. But irrelevant. I've seen Giga talk about this, and I love seeing Giga crash out about it, because I'm going to be harsh here. I can't take his opinion serious when he gasses up Rent-A-Girlfriend, and then he says this is trash, and I'm like, dude, I will take this anime any day of the week over Rent-A-Girlfriend. Any day of the week. You know why I think people hate this more than Rent-A-Girlfriend? Is because Rent-A-Girlfriend, the main male protagonist, is a cuck. In this, both of them are cocks. And because the chick is that, people get irritated. And I think that's the reason why. Because I think a lot of anime fans have this weird cuck fetish. I do. I actually think they have this fetish where they like to picture themselves being in that position. And I'm not saying Giga, I'm just saying actual anime fans. But I do think Giga has a tendency to like trash, but then I don't understand how he can praise something like Domestic Girlfriend and Rent a Girlfriend and then sit there and absolutely crash out about this. But I think the reason why people crash out is because both of these characters are stupid. Mostly people are pointing out Bluey, as I call her, but I also would like to point out, especially in the recent episode, which I don't think Giga got up to, he openly admits that he's in love with her. So why doesn't he say something? He has got so many opportunities to actually say something, to actually confess, but he doesn't either. Again, both of them are just as stupid as each other. Both of them could confess to each other, but they don't, because they both play the same game that I just pointed out. They both play the chicken game, where they try to provoke the other one. And so they keep trying to provoke that back and forth. And you can say, yeah, but no actual male or female friendship does that. They're not friends, though. They're both in love with each other. That's the thing you're forgetting, is that people are trying to say this as but they're homies, they're besties, they're friends. No, they're not. They're both in love with each other. They just don't want to admit it because they're scared of something stupid. It doesn't even have to make sense, because here's a reality check. Humans are stupid. Congratulations, I just blown your mind. Humans are stupid. That includes you, that includes me, that includes everyone else, and Giga. But that's the thing, we are stupid. And I'm not meaning that in a mean way, I'm just being realistic here. We are all stupid in some capacity. We all do stupid things. We all make mistakes. And so for me, when I watch an anime like this, I actually do see this being like, oh, well, this is actually realistic. It doesn't mean you have to like the decisions they're making, because they are. They're stupid. But it's a fun train wreck. I enjoy the train wreck. And I guess maybe that's just me. But I think some people are watching this train wreck and getting irritated, because one of those issues when it comes to animes like this is people want to drive the car. They want to drive the character. And that's why I think self-inserts for male characters work so much better, because there's no personality there. There's no actual character. And so it's just one of those where they're just like, oh yeah, all the girls are in love with me, and there's no real character development, and there's no real progress of the story, and we're just driving along and just seeing the same scenery every 2 minutes. That's Rent a Girlfriend to me. That's why I think people love Rent a Girlfriend, because there's no soul to it. There's no character in it. It's just the same soulless go around in a circle where he doesn't actually say or do anything, but they actually just keep going into perpetual cycle. There's very little progress in it. So it just feels like that soulless self-insert that they can do. For this, it's a train wreck, because it's a roller coaster of stupidity of two individuals that are in love with each other that won't goddamn sit down and just say, yes, I'm in love with you, let's go out. But you've also got to realize they also feel guilty for the other girl. And that is normal as well, because even though they both love each other, they've got this other girl, which clearly is the third wheel, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're just flirting with each other. Sorry about that. You can go now. Like, it's that awkwardness. That third wheel, and they probably feel bad. So as much as Bluey definitely is self-sabotaging, it is realistic as well. But she's also just a troll, which I know a lot of females in my life that are trolls like that will flirt with you and then absolutely troll the living hell out of you. It's been, again, I have a wild experience when it comes to romance. I have some wild stories. And as time goes on the channel, I'll probably tell you more of those stories. And trust me, you're going to need a lot of popcorn. And all of these stories are going to get clipped together. And it's going to be like a story arc of all the different romances. And then one day I'm going to have to sit there and actually put a timeline of where all these different events happen. Because, yeah, I'm pretty messed up. Which is why I love these romance animes. Because it does show the human nature of stupidity in itself. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But just keep it civil, because I know these kinds of series do really provoke people, because when you see characters like this that are acting in such a stupid manner, it can frustrate people, because they're like, just do this, just do that. But like I said, it's not just her that's also stupid. Even before he admitted in the recent episode that he was in love with her, you could see the hints. You could see that he was somewhat interested in her, but he was just kind of too shy and timid and too scared. And that could be because of her teasing nature, sure. But I also think it's just due to the fact that he's so enamored in his little hobby, but also is clearly interested, but just doesn't want to because maybe he's too scared that maybe it is all just flirting and maybe it all is just games and playing around, that there isn't something serious there. And that is also self-sabotaging. She is trying to provoke something out of him, but at the same time, by doing something like that, it solidifies the idea of that he can become too scared to ask something because he thinks, well, maybe she is just playing around. Maybe she isn't serious about me. One of them needs to bite the bullet and just go, I'm in love with you. This is like, just sit there and say to them, this is not a joke. I'm in love with you. Will you go out with me? And when the other one goes, oh, you're just playing around, just go, no. Bang! No, but like, they need to properly confess. Now, that very well could happen, and they could end up hooking up together. But then that's also the question of, if they do hook up together, could it turn into an absolute roller coaster and a train wreck, and then they end up breaking up, and then the other girl could come in and take one for the team and score a goal herself? That's highly possible as well. So again, love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, keep it chill, keep it civil. This is all just fun. Stop taking things so serious. Life is too messed up to take anime too serious as well. It's all fun discussions. I'd have another joke in my head, but apparently the last time I did that, a content creator took it serious and made a 20-minute hate video on me. So again, keep it chill, keep it civil. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.